Call the January 15th special Design Review Board meeting to order. And we'll go ahead and do the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm Carl Hayes.
There you go.
Tim Bryan.
Laura Weissong.
Perry Mason.
Bruce Smitherman, and he really is Perry Mason. I love that name.
All right, so let's go ahead with V11.011, 1995 Birmingham Road, Walter Matthews. Sure.
And just as a reminder to the board and the applicant, the DRB is just kind of looking at the aesthetics of the structure and surrounding property itself. They're not necessarily making a recommendation on the variance.
Okay.
So they're just going to talk about the structure.
Yeah, I apologize, guys. I got Angela's email.
I told him this morning.
2:30 this afternoon, so I wasn't real sure what I was supposed to do as far as this meeting, but anyway, as far as the Angela, should I go through the paperwork that you'd included on that, or?
You can practice your.
Can you introduce yourself? So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Me too, yeah.
Walter Matthews, but I go by Matt, so please call me Matt. You may just start kind of at the beginning.
Yep.
This is a classic example of what I thought was something so easy and simple quickly went awry. But anyway, I did read through some of Angela's stuff, and I know it was probably put together pretty quickly, but there's some, if you guys had read through the background, there's a few discrepancies. But anyway, we've owned this piece of property since 2001, and in 2004 we built a house. Well, when we built a house, we also built a raised structure, which I've used, over the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I guess, parking trailers, campers, stuff like that. And then I started parking a boat down there, and that's when I said, boy, it'd be nice to have a cover, a shed over this boat instead of just a cover. So it being a simple structure, 4x6 post, I was raised on a farm. We built what seems like dozens of these. No mechanical, electrical, plumbing, no foundation. It quite honestly never occurred to me that I needed a permit. So I did build it. I do understand ignorance of the law is no excuse, but I did build it. So that's kind of where we're at now, and the story just keeps getting more interesting. So as far as questions on the structure, the original intent was to have sides on it, rough sawn lumber, so it would basically look like a barn like you see all over Milton. And that really wasn't for me because I didn't really care, but I did have some, I did want it to tie in to the Milton horse farm rural area, what I consider design. But it was discovered last year, I guess, that this structure is in a NRCS floodplain, and one of their requirements to approve it, which they did, was that it couldn't have sides. They were concerned that if it had sides, it would actually, I guess, stop flowing water when it backs up. So that's kind of where we're at. What I proposed is to leave it as is. Be happy to plant bushes, trees, or whatever, but it's a very, very dense. I just don't think much is going to grow. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'll plant anything you want, but it's probably not going to grow. It's not very visible. It's not visible at all in the spring, summer, and fall until the leaves have completely fallen. And then you can see it from Birmingham Road. I've only got one neighbor that can see it from, not his house, but kind of, he has a very winding driveway, and as you get down the driveway, you can see it. It does sit down, I would guess, 8 to 10 feet in elevation from where his location is. And I did talk with him quite some time ago, and I said, hey, well, what, if this is a concern of yours, what can I do? And there's a fence that separates our property. He asked that I plant some bushes or leaves or something like that up there, just so I guess when he drives down his driveway, he can't see it. And of course, that wouldn't be a problem either. Again, I can't guarantee it would grow. It's pretty shady up there. But if you'll see in that first picture, I planted those leaves when I originally bought the property. They have survived. They just are growing very slowly. Most leaves that are that old would be much larger. But so that's kind of where we're at. I don't know what else to say.
How much property is there?
It's about 5.5 acres.
And are you encroaching on, within the building? I mean, you're looking to improve it to 25 feet?
I'm looking to improve what to 20?
And you want to encroach into the 25-foot impervious setback?
Yes. There's a stream on the back side of the property, and it's 50, 60 feet from that stream, so it puts me inside that 25 foot.
In the time you've owned it, has the water ever reached that point?
In 2009, when we had the 100-year, some people say 500-year flood, yes, it did. It did reach that height. It can never reach the height of the lowest truss, though. I did measure that. And how I know that is it'll basically go over the emergency spillway, which is on the far end of the lake, which my property backs up to. It's about, by water, it's probably 3/4 of a mile. As a crow flies, it's probably half a mile, the structure.
So are we hearing this because a neighbor got upset?
Well, I just learned that today. That says that in this letter. And, I have asked him point blank and have been told no, but apparently that's the case. I saw that in the letter, but nobody's confirmed that until now. Yes, sir. And that is it's gotta be. There's no doubt in my mind, because I've asked him twice about it. It's gotta be the neighbor that said he would be fine with it if I planted the bushes there, so. I had a little bit of a loss on that one, to be honest with you.
So I guess is the issue that you've got the roof on it now, or just that you're parking your boat there, or both? I mean,
I guess it would be the structure itself, yeah, because I have parked, again, campers, trailers, boats. I've parked the boat a lot closer to his driveway than that, and it, for 2 years, and it was never apparently an issue.
You didn't ask-
I would have to say it's the structure itself.
You didn't have him to the 4th of July picnic this year, did you?
Yeah, no, I was on the lake and he didn't come. So,
How many acres are you on?
it's just under 5.5.
Okay.
and he was saying the reason there's no sides is they didn't want him to have the sides because of the floodplain that would possibly impede the.
Which I think would be more his problem than anybody else's.
Yeah, I was gonna
Right.
say,
Yeah, it's
if there's a way around that, I mean, if it looks like a barn, I mean, it's,
I think it'd be
pretty much
nice,
golden, right?
it'd be
So,
nice if it was structured.
I mean, maybe you could do something for the bottom.
Maybe you leave the bottom off. Maybe a
Yeah.
couple
Do you know
of
if your
those
pad is
bottom.
in the floodplain?
Yes, sir, the pad.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I have the encroachment agreement that he has with,
So Water Conservation Division, SWCD, they will not allow sides. So
Okay.
as much as I would love to put it on there,
Mhm.
that's off the table.
That would make it look better, in my opinion.
Right,
Make
yeah.
it look like a barn
I agree.
structure. Yeah.
That was my original intent. And when I originally submitted on this, I had even sent in some pictures of examples around, Milton.
I mean, I don't know if maybe it'd be aesthetically for your neighbor better if it didn't have such a shiny roof.
Yeah, the silver color,
Yeah.
maybe to tone that down. That would definitely make it blend better.
Right.
Yeah, I
Plus-
mean, that could be painted.
It seems
Yeah,
silly.
I'm sure.
I think the roof color, definitely.
Right.
We'll camouflage it.
And the landscaping, I think, around it, to do leaves or whatever would grow well in the shady areas. But I did drive by there yesterday, and I didn't even, you don't even see it hardly at
I
all.
mean, we're
from
not
the
talking
road.
about putting this thing in white columns. I mean, this is
Well,
ridiculous.
that's,
To be honest.
that's an excellent point, that, you know, I realize that a lot of the ordinances, I guess, or.
Covenants.
Covenants are structured for neighborhoods, and I don't live in a neighborhood. You know, I've got a piece of property, and let me add one thing, you know, you got 5.5 acres of property, why'd you put it there? Well, there's a stream that runs around the back of the property line, and it actually breaks off and branches out, and then, from the house, which you can kind of see the drop in elevation, there's a good drop. So, quite literally, that is the only place I could put it.
I have a question for you. At the front of the road, off the right-of-way, what about some Leland stuff there so it blocks the view from the road if there is any view in the wintertime? Because during summertime, obviously, there's not any view at all.
Yeah, you cannot, I mean, you literally, and I had some pictures originally, and I apologize, I ran out without them, but you can't see it from the road. It's just, right now is when you see it.
I think the key really is just the landscaping part of it. I guess that's about all,
Right.
you know, other than tearing it down. I mean, that's all,
Did
Add
you
landscaping.
pulled, I'm sorry.
just to add landscaping, Leland's or something.
I know I came late and I'm sorry.
No, not a problem.
Man's got 5 acres of land. If you can't park his boat on it, where do we live?
Well, I mean, quite frankly, I don't live on 5 acres, but I live on a little bit of acreage and, and I would want to put whatever I want where I want it. But having said that, you've done all the things that you needed to do for your permit to be able to put the post-structure you got right now, right?
No, I'm trying to do everything backwards here.
Okay.
That's, yeah, what
Okay.
I had explained the history, and without boring these guys, the simple answer is no, sir.
Okay.
I do not. We're chipping away, and I don't know that I'll ever get there, but I've got to at least, run it out until I can't anymore.
Well, I can cite at least 5 properties that I know that have these types of structures in front of them. Whether they were done prior to the form of Milton or not, I don't know when they were put up.
Yeah, the pad, the raised pad was back in 2004, so obviously it was before Milton. The structure itself was 2011, so it was not.
Okay. I think, because, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, wouldn't the Lelands be hard to grow in the shade?
Yeah, we were talking about that a minute ago.
So what I guess I'm trying to say is if you trimmed up along the roadside and off the right of way, you were to put Lelands on there, because I don't know what, does this is an east-west face?
His neighbors, though, he can see it from his driveway and not on the
So it
road.
needs to go all the way around.
And
Right.
how many feet is the property, this structure from your,
Neighbors?
yes?
Um,
Just give me a rough guess. I don't
Was the
care about
neighbor
exact.
informed of this meeting tonight?
No.
I didn't have time to inform him.
There are evergreens that will grow in the woods, solid. I mean, there's certain cedars that will.
Right.
So I think there are plants, I don't.
Well, can we
can't
just make that
recommend
recommendation to
An
buffer it
evergreen.
with
An evergreen.
evergreens that will grow in?
147 feet,
How many?
147.
It's a lot size.
Yeah, with the evergreens that are shade tolerant.
that's.
This is silly.
Kind of shade tolerant evergreens.
I think that would be where I would lean to. How about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only solution, right?
To fully surround it with it.
Yeah. I mean,
And I think what you missed is, I actually parked it within 5 feet of the property line for 2 years. I never heard anything. So it's not the boat, it appears to be the structure.
Yeah, definitely, I would think if you tone down the roof,
Yeah,
blend
that
it
that would be
in,
the other recommendation.
you know, I think that'll help. And then, I mean, it really stands out in the picture there, so maybe seeing that. And then,
Probably a green or something.
Yeah.
You know, a green that sort of blends
Yeah, I
in.
mean, I said camouflage, I was kind of joking, but green.
Green,
Yeah.
green would do it. Sort of a leaf green color.
yeah.
Hey, do they make, Tim, you can answer this for me. Do they make, I know at the beach, we have, when we build the underneath part of our houses, we have breakaway structures that are underneath that FEMA allows.
Oh, really?
Is there such a thing here that you can have breakaway walls underneath?
You know, that's a good question. You'd almost have like hinges on it, so that it.
Well, I think that might be a food for thought, that if it's allowable at the beach, and they require it at the beach,
Yeah.
then we might be able to get something that will tone this down a little bit, make it look more like a barn, but yet you can do like, reverse board and batten, to where one side's got one here, like in this side, and so it will flow through, but make it where there is I don't remember what the tensile strength was, but we put those up with breakaway bolts that would break away at a certain pressure. And
I mean, he'd have to take that back to the state.
Right.
Oh, that's getting out of control.
Yeah.
Come on, we're just talking about,
okay,
yeah.
I'm just trying
I
to have
think
ideas.
if you have a couple gallons of paint, you don't mind doing that, and plant a few Lelands and make this guy happy,
I think so.
Works for me.
I vote for it.
Well, if somebody want to make a motion.
I'm gonna make a motion to
It's
approve
considered
number
as
3.
Courtesy, so.
Oh, it's a courtesy, we're not even a final.
I think that would be our.
So what happens, where does he go from here?
Well, in about 30 minutes, we'll have the BZA hearing.
Oh,
About
okay.
45 minutes.
Lord have mercy.
Okay.
all right.
Then our recommendation, I guess our recommendation would be
Tolerant
to use
Enjoy your
evergreens.
property.
The shade tolerant
The buffer.
evergreens and paint the roof
Yep.
green.
Or brown, whatever you want.
Red. Like your
Some of
shirt.
those, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna
so
say,
I
I have,
think that's pretty much what you have to work with in this case.
You know, obviously you want to clear it with the neighbor and stuff before you go spend more money on bushes and
But
things.
if he's 147 feet away, I mean,
Right,
that's,
And down.
We have lots that aren't that big.
yeah.
right.
You know, and truthfully, I don't imagine, I drove down there and I couldn't see it. I
I
didn't
did too
actually notice
yesterday.
it.
I didn't see it. So,
Bring him an apple pie.
where is that on Birmingham Road? Just to,
What's this?
from the Publix, you're,
From the Publix, you'll go back, well, obviously west towards, what is that, Coburn, that it tees into way down?
Yeah, Hopewell,
Hopewell, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think that road changed 3 times.
right.
yeah.
But you, from the Publix, you go through the 4-way stop.
Yeah,
You go straight through there.
till it dead ends into Hopewell.
Yeah, before that, I'm like 1.6 miles before it dead ends to Hopewell. Past the horse farm on your right, if you're coming from Publix, it
Yeah.
kind of goes down. a hill,
Shenandoah.
And I'm at the bottom of that hill. Yeah.
We're neighbors. Oh, Lord have mercy. You know the
Hey,
red,
you call?
the red house that sits up on the hill? No, I didn't know about it. You know the red house that sits up on the hill?
Yeah,
That's me.
okay. I have.
I never noticed a pole barn.
Yeah, when it snowed, was it last year? Which, by the way, it held 7 inches of snow. Last year, my son and I drove our little Ranger up to the top of the hill there. We didn't go up the driveway, but.
Well, you're welcome to. The kids are all up there sledding.
All right.
Okay,
That's not happening this year.
Very good.
meeting adjourned.
Sorry you had this complication.
Nice job, Carson.
Hey, guys, I got a couple things I wanted to ask y'all. Here's your opinion on.
You want to turn the system off first?
yeah, that-
Yep.
It's nothing real
Okay.
personal.
she's gonna turn it off.